There will be no quick video editing or flashy edits here, only useful practical information. And remember, the last point that we will consider is the most important. Enjoy the video. Most people in the United States dream of retirement, but very few people actually sit down and figure out the real number they need. That is why many retirees end up either working longer than they expected or living much more tightly than they planned. The good news is that you do not need to be a math expert to get a clear answer. You just need a straightforward approach and a realistic view of your future. Today, we are going to walk through how to use a retirement calculator idea, even if you do not have one handy, and how to estimate your own retirement number. The first step is to think about your retirement lifestyle. Do you want to travel often, live very simply, keep your current lifestyle, or downsize your life? Your lifestyle determines most of your expenses, and your expenses determine how much money you need. A common starting point is to think about how much you spend each year right now. Then imagine what that would look like in retirement, when you might have fewer work-related costs, but more time for travel, hobbies, and health expenses. Many financial experts suggest that retirement spending is often around 70 to 80% of your current pre-retirement spending, but that is only a rough rule. Your real number will depend on your goals, your city, your health, and your family situation. The second step is to think about how long your money needs to last. With people living longer, a retirement that starts at 65 could easily last 25, 30, or even more years. That means your money must be able to handle inflation, unexpected costs, and many years of living. If you plan for too short a time, you risk running out of money later in life. The third step is to account for retirement income sources. In the United States, many people have a combination of Social Security, a pension if they are lucky, investment accounts, and sometimes part-time work. Social Security alone is usually not enough to cover all expenses for most retirees, but it can be an important piece of the puzzle. You can check your estimated Social Security benefit on the official Social Security Administration website to get a better idea of what to expect. The fourth step is to subtract your expected income from your expected expenses. That difference is what your investments must cover each year. If you expect to spend $60,000 a year and Social Security covers $20,000, then your investments need to provide the remaining $40,000. The fifth step is to use a simple rule of thumb to estimate your total retirement nest egg. A widely used guideline is the 4% rule, which suggests that you can safely withdraw about 4% of your retirement savings each year. That means if you need $40,000 a year from your investments, you would aim for a portfolio of about $1 million. This is not a perfect formula, but it gives you a realistic target to work toward. The sixth step is to factor in inflation over time. Prices for food, healthcare, housing, and other essentials tend to rise, so the amount you need today will be higher in the future. For many people, planning with a slight buffer for inflation is a smart way to avoid surprises. The seventh step is to consider your investment strategy. Simply saving a large amount of cash is not enough if inflation is eating away at its value. Most long-term retirees use a mix of stocks, bonds, and other assets to grow their money and protect it from inflation. The key is to balance growth with safety as you get closer to retirement age. Now, here is the most important part that many people skip. You need to update your retirement number regularly as your life changes. If your income grows, your expenses change, your family situation changes, or markets move significantly, your retirement number should move with you. A retirement calculator is not a one-time question. It is a living calculation that you should revisit every year or two. So how much do you need to retire? The short answer is enough to cover your expected annual expenses minus your expected income, multiplied by a factor that accounts for inflation, longevity, and safe withdrawal rates. The longer answer is start with your current spending, adjust for your retirement lifestyle, subtract your expected income, and aim for a portfolio that can support that gap for many years. If you watched until the end, you now have a clear method to estimate your own retirement number instead of guessing or relying on generic advice.